This is Justin AMZN on Thursday, May 24th, 2018, and we're looking at the whole day today. So decided to just do a video so you can see where things went on the day. Actually, I don't think I have all the aftermarket. There you go. All right, I can see all the aftermarket. Huge move yesterday up. Kind of paused about that level. Opening today, a retest back down into this old resistance, new support. Got a bounce right here. And we talked about that yesterday, that it was going to happen. And so had I been trading this today, this is what the setup would have been. After these two candles get in bullish above it, so like 15.95 with a stop down at like 15.90, $5 risk. Okay, you're in on this candle, goes up, you know, you're profitable, not quite up an R, then it comes back down, you're break even through these candles, pulls back a little bit more, you're down half an R. It's like, okay, I just went from up almost an R to down half an R. I gotta move my stop up here. You know, after that wick, maybe put it up in here just to lock in something, or I'm sorry, not to lock in anything, to reduce my risk so that I would only lose about half an R. And then it bounced, and it's like, okay, it's bouncing, it's starting to work. Some folks may have just gotten out once you're down that half an hour just to lock in something, lock in a little bit of a gain. But then you take all the opportunity off that it could continue higher. In this case, it didn't. So with my stop here, I likely would have been stopped on this candle, definitely in this candle, and lost probably half an hour or more on this trade. Because sometimes I get stubborn and I leave a stop. I'm like, I knew I was risking an R. I'm going to take the R loss and just, yeah, sometimes that happens, right? So in this case, you got lower highs, some higher lows, breakdown, looks like it's going lower, but we had such a huge move yesterday. It actually forms a Morningstar reversal right on our old support. Broke through it some, but you can set up a trade to get in like up at this level, get in above this candle, get in above this wick. Maybe you're in on this candle, definitely on this candle for bounce. So this is like 1593, maybe 1594 by 1588. So a little bit wider. But we'll switch over to the action, but a slight pullback here, another one here, and then just off to the races. And that should have been a 2R trade. I didn't actually do the math. What did I say, 1594 by 1588, so 1600. So a little up here, a little bit shy of 2R, but up here, it definitely locked in 2R. Even on this pullback, probably raised your stop, trailing your stop up to here, and then, once it did this, maybe trail it up to below the last bearish candle, and then up to here, and then you're just going to kind of trail it up. Maybe you actually stop down on that one because that threw that lower wick a little bit lower. If you were just trailing your stop, but if you trailed it up to getting out for break even, then getting out for an R gain, and then after a lower wick, I mean, it just kind of moves up, pulls back, moves up, pulls back, moves up, but it's all going bullish, and get out at the next line. I mean, this is what's phenomenal on this. We drew this line, I don't even remember when, 1607, so I don't even remember what the value is, but these lines that we had drawn at 1607, there you go, a while back. I've not moved these. We've been so range bound in here. Yeah, we've gone through them, they've acted a little bit differently, but they've come back into play, and it's just phenomenal to see this. I mean, looking at yesterday, the 1607 price wasn't even in range. We didn't even look at that price in yesterday's video. Today's video, it's actually working. That was a target. It didn't actually, let's see, all right, I was going to say it didn't actually close above it, but I think it did. Okay, it closed above it a couple times. It didn't really get going above it. That was a great resistance there, and actually sold off from there into the close. So we can look at what it would be to actually get in on puts up here, because that's a resistance and it's worked before. And getting into calls down here or down here and what they would look like. So let's come back to this candle. It's 1010. Let's say you got in at the high on the call. So 1010, looking at the 1600 call. It's right here. 1010 is this candle. So the high there is 430. And the low down here, you want to get your stop below it, is $3. So maybe you got in 430 by maybe 280, getting below that low. So that's a $150 risk. If we want to stick with the $100 risk, let's go another $10 out of the money and see. All of this trade would have been out of the money, but 10 is right here. Okay, so the high there is 151, and the low here is 96. So yeah, that one would have been a little bit. It could have worked. All right, let's just go $5, 1605, and see how that one played out. Well, see, now I like this. So yesterday's options put in a bit of a resistance here, broke out, retested, rallied. That's what we saw the stock do. And then today retested back to that breakout point, back to this level. Could have bought it too with a stop down at 150. Or if you waited for the 1010 candle, that would have been this one, getting in for 265 with a stop down at 165. That would have worked. And then taking that up, I mean, that would have been easily to our, all the way up here. What is that? I say 260, 265, and it went up to 665. So that's 4R right there. That's phenomenal. Even if you had looked at the previous day's prices and seen, oh, well, if it comes back down to this breakout point, I'll buy it $2. Set up a trade, buy it $2. Stop at 150. You can afford 2. And then that rallied. I mean, that would have been like a 10-hour trade. So they're out there. These we've been consolidating for so long here. Even on this indecision type of a candle, there was levels in here at play, and we're right in here. It's similar to this candle, just not the bullish gap and go. This is actually just a typical inside gap, but it totally played out with. Totally played out with a rally, pullback, retest in here, and then rally again. And even though this was moving higher, those options were going sideways in this area yesterday. That was this area yesterday. Let's see. Well, this book doesn't back out. Yeah, it should sync up. Okay. So this price range in here, yeah, it's doing it. Okay. This price range on the stock on the 5-minute matched up with this price range. It didn't actually retest this low, but it lost premium overnight. But a pullback in here gave me the same option value here that I had yesterday. And you're trading, you're looking at the option chart to figure out which option to get in and when it's interacting with these levels. That's one that, we just had to go to 1605 instead of 1600 to get something that's reasonably priced for the risk that we want. And it's Thursday, so there's some room for it to move. Anyway, that's, like I said, that's probably what would have happened to me. It probably would have been getting in, like if I got in the 1605, let me zoom back in on this one, sorry. So if I got in on like 9 o'clock candle, something like that, I probably would have gotten in here. What is that, $4 the stop? No, I wouldn't have quite done that. 4 by 3. I probably would have been at the 1610. Getting in at the 9 o'clock candle. So that was here. Probably getting in like high 26, let's just say 270. And then a stop down at 170. That works. Yeah, 270 or 170. Would have been feeling good. I'm up a little bit, and then it just petered out and stopped me out. I probably would have been stopped out for a full hour with the way that option moved. That's probably what would have happened to me. And then I would have been, let's see, come back here. This is holding this low. It's like, okay, maybe try it again. Get in up here with, and I probably would have gotten in on that wick higher, thinking, okay, I don't want to miss this because it's going bullish. And a stop down here, or maybe down here again. Either way, I got stopped out. And so that would have been a trade getting in, like this high for 230 with a stop down at 130, and would have been stopped on that candle. That's probably what would have happened if I've been trading this bullish, aggressively bullish, off of this line, and then thinking it's holding here. instead of being a little more patient, waiting for real interaction with this level, the option price to match up with the breakout from yesterday, and just hung on for the ride on this. So that would have been my own impatience. It would have been good to look for another reason to bounce off of, a level down here. I don't really want to throw the 100 on this chart right now, but it's probably interacting with like the 100. Well, we'll do it. I'm changing up the video today anyway. What I want to do, studies, add study, moving averages, simple. What did that do? Oh, I don't want that one. This is what I didn't want to have to do with. Edit studies. Sorry, I'm like complaining on my video, but I just didn't want to have to do all this manually, but it'll be a good visual to see. That did not type anything. There we go. Now it's cooperating. Apply, and oh, way off. I'm way off. Yeah, it didn't hold that at all. Let me change it to 200 and see if that does anything different. No, still don't want to type. 200? Where's the 200 on the 5 minute? Oh, almost. Well, that doesn't help us. All right, forget I added that. Sorry. This is somewhat of an impromptu review, changing it up a little bit. So anyway, there we are. Back. Never mind. Not back to the chart. Okay. Thought I had a technical difficulty and was going to have to end the video. But we're almost done. So there you go. That's the move. The last thing I said was getting in bearish when it's up here. So let's look at maybe the 1600 put and kind of bottoming here around $3. At some point, you could have bought for $3 with a stop down at 2 or 2.5, 250. It actually rode the close, the sell off into the close up for another R or two. If you bought it through the stop at 2, you got a little bit more than an R. If you did $3 by 250, you got 2 of those for $100 risk. You probably made, let's see, like 3R on that if you got out at the right time when it was, on the second to last 5 minute candle of the day. That's possible. So there you go. Ways to play this bullish and bearish. Bullish was definitely the way to go. Just yesterday and today being, today being a continuation of yesterday's bullishness. But look at this, this level that we came back down to. We interacted with it here on all these resistances. We're definitely looking at like a multi-bottom in here, a retest. And this is really an accumulation within this bigger channel here, just sideways. And I would not be surprised if tomorrow it has a little bit more of a sell-off, comes back down here and bounces again, because we saw it happen like this, saw it come down a little bit further through it, do it again here, and then go, and then just pause up here. We've also seen multiple touches to this resistance through here, 1, 2, 3, 4 with the pre-market in this area. Now it's broken out from that. We've touched it once, twice, I guess kind of 4. If you count this as 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to discount that one, but it could be 5. 5 touches this level. If it comes back down again, look to buy off this level. If it gaps up, then it's a bullish retest gap, and look for it to pull back to this line or anywhere in here. Ideally, this 1600, because it's just a nice solid number, a nice round number, and you got a resistance today here, support. Right around 1600. That'd be another place to look for a little bit of a buy. Just like today, it came back down a little bit further than the line. It could do something like that up here as well. But I'd continue to be bullish on this. We look back at the daily. You definitely have a bullish engulfing, some indecision here. We have a second day now of a bullish momentum squeeze. I'm going to want to see the momentum shift and increase bullishly, just like this one did. We had a bearish one here, and then we continued going up, or we reversed on the squeeze momentum and actually started going up, and then the squeeze fired, and we actually played out all this. We had a little bit of retest, went up. Could happen here. We continue to squeeze, go a little bit higher, get above this high, this indecision, say, okay, get on bullish now because we're above that high, and then it'll sell off a little bit, come back down into this area again, and then rally hard. That's what I'm looking for it to do. Could change tomorrow. Something else could play out. But we saw some of that happening in here with things pulling back. Looks like I've got some old lines over here I need to get rid of. So it may take some time to do a little bit of editing on my chart, but the lines we had in here have been in play for a while. I mean, even this one, wow, we drew this one way back to that day. And then these ran from these days. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Changed it up a little bit for today. So if you enjoyed this format, just taking a look back on the day versus stepping through the 5 minute, I still try to put myself in the mindset of what would I be doing that day and what are my rules for the trade, what am I looking for, and in this case, just looking for reversals at good locations. I got a couple of those today, bullish and bearish, just like we got up here yesterday. That's what I'd be looking for on Amazon. This is just Amazon. Thank you.